Hey everyone, welcome back to Pawpaw's Workshop. Today's video, I want to talk about the moisture meters. Now this is a wood moisture meter by the Erickhill company. And I tell you what, I really like this because there's so many different types of moisture meters that are on the market. You got big ones and little ones. But this one, being a pocket size, is small, it's compact, and you can put it right into your pocket. And that's something that I really can appreciate and like. So today I'm going over to one of the big box stores and we're going to take a look at some of the different materials and get the moisture readings. Now there's some features that I really do like about this one, and we're going to be talking about that today. Buying materials at your big box store can be a real challenge, not because they don't have a lot of it, but because really it's a construction grade material that's used in home construction and remodeling. It's really not for furniture making per se, and it's a real challenge to be able to find wood at your big box stores that will actually work for your furniture projects. And you really have to take a look at the condition of the wood, and you have to look at the moisture content, because material like this really is not conducive to making furniture. There's a lot of waste that you would have. This is why I bring the moisture meter with me when I go to the big box stores, and I want to take a look at the actual moisture content. I use quite a bit of oak material in the different projects that I do in the shop. I'm looking for a moisture content that's less than 10%. And you can see that they have about an 8-foot section here of the oak. Let's take a look and take some measurements on several pieces of the oak. So I'll turn this unit on, and it has a scale on the different categories. And by pushing the button, we can put this on scale number 2, and that is for the oak. Then just put the probe right into the oak, and you can see that it's a low reading, and you can also see that it's green. The backlight being green and the reading being low, this actually would work for the projects to be able to make furniture or any other types of fine woodworking that you may want to be able to do. After testing the wood for the moisture content, look for the quality of the wood itself. The next section I want to look at is this poplar section. Now poplar is considered a hardwood. So let's take a look and see what the moisture content of this is. And again, with the setting of 2, you can see that it is a low moisture content and with the green background. Now this section is considered their whitewood, which is basically the number 2 pine, and it has quite a few knots, and you have to look at the quality of this material very closely. In many cases, you're going to have a higher moisture content in this type of wood. But let's take a look and see what the moisture content that we find on the different pieces of wood here today. And on this one, you can see that it's reading an 8.9%. And that's below the 10%, so that still would actually work. And as I move through the different pieces of wood, you can see the readings. Although the quality of this material may not be real good, it does meet the moisture requirement. Recently, I built a bunk bed using this material, which is the 2x6s, and you can see the reading here is a 10.6. A little bit higher, but it would actually work. And here's another one where the reading's actually lower at the 8.5. Next, I want to show you this. This is at 20%, and notice the backlit is now orange. So that shows a very high moisture content. Here's another example where you have the orange backlight and at 18% moisture. And this section is showing red at 25% moisture. This is the material comparison table that I wanted to be able to show you. And if you'll look here, you'll be able to see on the setting 1 is all your hardwoods, your birch, cherry, walnut, and so on. The setting 2 is your oak, pine, maple, ash. Again, they're hardwood, but they're softwoods mixed into that. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 deal with other types of materials. So for my purposes, I'm really only looking at settings 1 and 2. And to be able to establish that setting, all I'm going to need to do is just turn this on, and the first thing that you're going to see, it comes up with the M1. So that is for that chart for the 1, which takes care of my walnut type materials. If I want to switch just push the M, and that will take you to the 2, and that takes care of the pine, maple, and so on. And you look at 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So all you do is just push, and it will take you through the different menu. Now when you're testing the different wood, you can push this max right here, and this will give you the max reading for that particular wood. Then you can press that again, and it'll reset it. I'm not going to read the chart to you, but you can see under the settings for material 1, you can see the range of the green, orange, and red lights. So if it's less than 15%, it's going to be green. And as I had mentioned, I like to be able to stay under the 10%. And it will turn orange from 15.1 to 24%, and anything over 24% is going to be in that red category. This is a huge, huge convenience because you can look at a glance to be able to see the backlight and tell really quick if this is going to be a high moisture material and you want to stay away from it. Now I want to show you this piece of wood. This is a piece of number 2 pine, actually, that I was able to mill down and use to make the bunk bed. And I want to take the moisture meter and let's take a look and see what the moisture content is on this. And you can see this is 11.2, 11.1% on the moisture content. I want you to notice the green background. If you have a green background, that's actually good. And being at 11%, that's going to be the high side of my scale that I want to be able to utilize in the shop to be able to make furniture and other projects. Now I have a beautiful piece of walnut here, and let's take a reading on this. Now this has been in the shop for a while, so it should be well seasoned. And you can see the moisture reading on here, and it's running around 10.5% on the moisture. Now, if you decide to buy the material that has a little bit of a moisture content, how are you going to be able to dry that out? Well, I don't think too many people are going to have a great big kiln to be able to do kiln dried wood. So you're going to need to stack it, and you need to stack that wood so that the air can circulate all the way around the material. If you just put it flat on the ground, it's going to evaporate that moisture out on one side faster than the other, and that's what's going to cause a major problem. It's going to warp, twist, and do all kind of crazy things that you don't want that material to do. So make sure that the air is flowing all the way around it. One of the things that I used to do when I had a small project and I knew that the moisture content was high, I would actually put the material onto a tray and put it into a small oven. Keep the temperature around 170 degrees, but I would weigh that tray first. And then I would let it sit in that oven at 170 degrees for about an hour or so, bring it out, weigh it, and the material weight would be less. And I would repeat that process until the weight stayed the same. And that would get rid of the moisture. The problem with that, there was an awful lot of guessing, and with the moisture meter, you can easily tell without going through all of that guesswork. Now, when you finish with this, it has a little cover that you can just slip right onto the end of that probe, and then you can slip this in your pocket. Really, really convenient. Now this wood moisture meter by the Erickhill company is something that's going to stay with me now every time I go to the big box stores or any of my lumber supply houses to be able to take a look at that moisture content before I buy it. And that's going to make it so much easier to be able to deal with the moisture content once I get home, because with this meter, I already know my starting point. And if I need to be able to dry that lumber out before I start the project, I know how to do that. Stack it so that the air circulates all the way around in a nice dry area, and monitor it with the moisture meter. And then when it gets into that acceptable range, begin your project. And I have quite a few pieces of material in the shop that I'm going through this drying phase. And with this moisture meter, it's really going to help out an awful lot. Now I'm going to have a link in the description below that'll take you to their website should you want to be able to just check out this a little bit more. And in addition to that, I'm going to have a discount code for you in the description below as well. Because quite frankly, if you don't have a moisture meter, you need to get one. This is really making my life so much easier in the wood selection to be able to know what the moisture content is to begin with. So I highly recommend getting the moisture meter. I like this compact size meter. I like the fact that I can get the instant readings of the different materials, and I can just slip it in my pocket when I'm not using it. So I hope you enjoyed this little short video today, and I hope that you'll take a look at the Erickhill wood moisture meter and consider adding that to your workshop. So I want to thank everybody for watching this video today, and I look forward to seeing you real soon in the next video. So for now, bye-bye.